everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Personal Growth Talks podcast. I'm your host, Julia, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today. In this episode, we're going to talk about something very powerful, something that can truly change your life from the inside out. Today's topic is the power of positive thinking. Now, you might have heard this phrase many times, think positive. But what does it really mean? Is it just about smiling all the time or pretending everything is fine even when life is hard? Well, not exactly. Positive thinking is much deeper than that. In today's episode, we'll explore what positive thinking really means, why it's so important, and how it can transform the way you live, learn, and see the world. We'll also talk about simple, practical steps you can use to think more positively every day, even when life doesn't go as planned. Before we begin, I want you to take a deep breath. Now, think for a moment. When something goes wrong in your life, what's your first thought? Do you focus on the problem, or do you look for a possible solution? This small difference between focusing on problems or solutions is where the power of positive thinking begins. So, stay with me until the end, because by the time we finish, you'll understand how to train your mind to stay positive, confident, and peaceful no matter what challenges come your way. Let's get started. So, let's start by understanding what positive thinking really means. Positive thinking is a way of looking at life with hope and confidence. It means focusing on the good side of things even when life gets hard. It doesn't mean you ignore problems or pretend everything is perfect. It means you choose to look for solutions instead of just feeling sad or angry about the problem. For example, imagine you are learning English and you make a mistake while speaking. A negative thinker might say, "I'm terrible at English. I'll never improve." But a positive thinker would say, "I made a mistake, but that's okay. I can learn from it and do better next time." See the difference? The positive thinker doesn't give up. They see every mistake as a chance to learn and grow. Positive thinking is not just about words. It's also about your attitude, your energy, and the way you react to life. When you think positively, you feel more confident and calm. You begin to believe that good things are possible for you, and that belief gives you strength to keep going. But remember, positive thinking doesn't mean you never feel sad or worried. We are all human. It's normal to have negative thoughts sometimes. The key is to not stay in those thoughts for too long. Instead, you can tell yourself, "Yes, I feel down right now, but this feeling will pass. I can handle this." In simple words, positive thinking means seeing the light even when there is darkness. It means believing that something good can come from every situation, no matter how difficult it is. So, to sum up, positive thinking is about choosing hope over fear, courage over doubt, and progress over failure. It's a daily choice that shapes your mind and your future. Now that we understand what positive thinking is, let's talk about why it really matters. Why is it so important to think positively in life? The truth is, the way you think shapes the way you live. Your thoughts affect your feelings, and your feelings affect your actions. If you always think negatively, you will feel tired, sad, and unmotivated. But if you think positively, you will feel more confident, calm, and ready to take action. For example, imagine you are preparing for an English exam. If you say to yourself, "I can't do this," you will feel nervous and lose focus. But if you say, "I'll do my best and learn from this," your brain starts to believe in you. You become more relaxed and perform better. Positive thinking also helps your health. Studies show that people who think positively have less stress, sleep better, and even recover faster from sickness. Why? Because your mind and body are connected. When your mind is calm and hopeful, your body feels stronger too. And in your daily life at school, at work, or with family, positive thinking helps you build better relationships. People enjoy being around someone who is kind, hopeful, and encouraging. So yes, positive thinking truly matters not just for your happiness, but also for your success, your health, and your peace of mind. It gives you the power to face any situation with courage and faith. So how can positive thinking actually change your life? Well, it can change almost everything: the way you see yourself, the way you deal with problems, and even the way others see you. When you think positively, you start to believe in your own abilities. You stop saying, "I can't," and start saying, "I will try." This small change in words brings a big change in your life, because when you believe in yourself, you start taking action, and action creates results. Positive thinking also helps you handle difficulties better. Life is never perfect. We all face challenges. But a positive thinker doesn't give up when things go wrong. Instead, they ask, "What can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to grow?" This attitude turns problems into lessons and failures into opportunities. And do you know what else happens? When you stay positive, people feel your good energy. You attract kindness, trust, and support from others. Your relationships become stronger, and your environment becomes happier. Over time, positive thinking builds a new version of you, a more confident, peaceful, and successful you. It doesn't happen overnight, but with daily practice, your whole life begins to shine with hope and meaning. Now, let's clear up some common myths about positive thinking. Many people misunderstand what it really means to think positive. So let's look at a few wrong ideas people often have. The first myth is that positive thinking means you should always be happy. That's not true. Nobody can be happy all the time. It's okay to feel sad, angry, or tired sometimes. That's part of being human. Positive thinking is not about hiding your real feelings. It's about facing your feelings and still believing that things will get better. The second myth is that positive thinkers never have problems. That's also false. Everyone has problems, even the most successful people in the world. The difference is, positive thinkers focus on solutions instead of just the problems. They don't give up when life gets difficult. And the third myth is that positive thinking is fake or unrealistic. Some people think it's about lying to yourself or pretending everything is fine. But real positive thinking is honest. It means accepting reality, but choosing to look at it with hope, courage, and confidence. So, positive thinking doesn't mean ignoring your problems or pretending to be happy. It means staying strong, calm, and hopeful, even when life is tough. That's the real power behind it. Now that we know what positive thinking really is, let's talk about how to develop it in your daily life. It's not something that happens in one day. It's something you build step by step. Step 1. Be aware of your thoughts. Start noticing what you say to yourself every day. Are your thoughts mostly negative or positive? When you catch a negative thought like, "I can't do this," try to change it to, "I'll try my best." Step 2. Practice gratitude. Every morning or evening, think about 3 things you are thankful for, even small things like your health, your family, or a beautiful sunrise. Gratitude helps you focus on what's good instead of what's missing. Step 3. Use positive self-talk. Speak kindly to yourself. Say things like, "I am improving every day," or "I can handle challenges." The more you repeat positive words, the stronger your mind becomes. Step 4. Surround yourself with positivity. Spend time with people who inspire and support you. Read books, listen to podcasts, or watch videos that lift your spirit. Positive energy spreads, and so does negative energy. Choose wisely. Step 5. Keep practicing every day. Some days will be hard, but that's okay. What matters is consistency. The more you practice positive thinking, the more natural it becomes. So developing a positive mindset is like training your mind one thought at a time. With patience and practice, it becomes a part of who you are. Now let's look at some real-life examples of people who showed the true power of positive thinking. These stories will help us understand how a positive mind can make a big difference even in the hardest times. Let's start with Thomas Edison, the man who invented the light bulb. Do you know how many times he failed before he succeeded? More than 1,000 times. But Edison never gave up. When someone asked him how he felt after so many failures, he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times." The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps. That is the perfect example of positive thinking turning failure into a lesson. Another great example is Nick Vujicic. He was born without arms and legs, but he didn't let that stop him. Instead of feeling hopeless, he chose to live with courage and faith. Today, he is a motivational speaker who inspires millions of people around the world. His message is simple: you can't control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. Even in everyday life, we can find positive thinkers, maybe a teacher, a friend, or even a parent. Think about someone in your life who always stays hopeful, even when things are difficult. People like that remind us that positivity is not about luck, it's about choice. Positive thinking gives strength to the weak, hope to the tired, and light to those who feel lost. And the good news is this power is inside all of us. You don't have to be famous to be a positive thinker, you just have to believe in yourself and keep moving forward. Now, let's do a small activity together. This will help you practice positive thinking in your daily life. Are you ready? Great, let's begin. First, take a deep breath. Now think about one challenge or problem you faced this week. Maybe it was something at school, at work, or in your personal life. Don't worry, we all have challenges. Now, instead of thinking about how hard it was, I want you to ask yourself this question: what did I learn from that situation? Maybe you learned to be more patient. Maybe you learned how strong you are. Or maybe you learned what not to do next time. Positive thinking starts with small reflections like this. Every time something goes wrong, try to find one good thing in it, even something very small. Here's another short activity. Repeat these positive sentences after me, either out loud or quietly in your mind. I believe in myself. I can handle challenges. Every day I am getting better. I choose to think positively. Very good. These are called positive affirmations. If you say them every day in the morning or before sleep, they will slowly change the way you think and feel. Remember, your thoughts have power. So, train your mind to think positive, and your life will begin to change step by step. Now, before we move to the end of our episode, let's talk about some common mistakes people make when they try to practice positive thinking. The first mistake is forcing fake positivity. Some people think they must smile and feel happy all the time. But that's not true. Real positive thinking doesn't mean you ignore pain or pretend everything is fine. It means you accept your feelings, but you don't let them control you. The second mistake is being unrealistic. Positive thinking is not about believing that life will be perfect. It's about believing that you can handle life even when it's not perfect. And the third mistake is ignoring problems. Some people avoid facing their challenges because they think being positive means avoiding bad thoughts. But real positivity means looking at your problems honestly and working to solve them with hope and confidence. So remember, positive thinking is not about pretending or escaping reality. It's about staying strong, hopeful, and calm while facing it. That's how you grow, and that's how you truly become a positive thinker. Now, let's connect everything we've learned to your life and your personal growth. Positive thinking is not just a theory, it is practical. Every day, your thoughts shape your actions, your feelings, and your results. When you choose hope over fear, courage over doubt, and solutions over complaints, you are changing your life for the better, step by step. Think about your English learning journey, for example. Sometimes you might make mistakes, forget words, or feel shy to speak. If you think negatively, you might stop trying. But if you think positively, you tell yourself, I am learning, I am improving, and I can do this. That simple shift gives you confidence and keeps you moving forward. Remember, your mindset is like a seed. If you water it with positive thoughts every day, it will grow into strength, happiness, and success. Even small daily choices like being thankful, encouraging yourself, or seeing the good in a situation can make a huge difference over time. So, stay positive, stay hopeful, and keep practicing because your thoughts are the true power behind your life. And that brings us to the end of today's episode on the power of positive thinking. Let's quickly remember the key points. Positive thinking is not about pretending or ignoring problems. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities, focusing on solutions, and believing in yourself every day. It helps you feel stronger, calmer, and more confident in your learning, in your work, and in your life. I encourage you to start small. Notice your thoughts, practice gratitude, use positive affirmations, and stay consistent. Every day is a new chance to train your mind and grow stronger. Thank you so much for listening and spending this time with me today. If you enjoyed this episode, remember to share it with someone who might need a little positivist in their life. And don't forget to come back for our next episode, where we will explore more ways to grow, improve, and live a happier life. Stay positive, stay hopeful, and keep moving forward. I'm Julia, and I'll see you next time.